Hello my dear students, once again welcome to your online class. Today we will be dealing with the fifth chapter of your physics textbook, that is the refraction of light. So the refraction of light is completely a new topic to you. So we will discuss first what is refraction. Also in this chapter we learn the two laws of refraction, refractive index, real and the virtual image, the refraction through the glass slab, refraction through the triangular prism, dispersion of light, why does the stick bend, and what is the scattering of light. In this chapter there is also a spherical mirror, but I will first complete the refraction of light, then we will move on to the topic, the spherical mirror. In your book we have the few of the parts, these four parts in the beginning, and then we have a spherical mirror, and then we have the lower part. But first we will complete what is the refraction of light, and then we will come to what is what is the spherical mirror. So to begin with the refraction of light, we already know what is reflection. The reflection means the bouncing back of the light into the same medium is known as reflection. But unlike reflection, the refraction is the passing of light from one medium to another medium. For example, if you have a glass in front of you, and if you switch on the torchlight, what will happen? The light will pass through the glass. Okay, so suppose if I have one thick glass slab, okay, so what happens, whenever a ray of light is incident on this glass slab, it does not get reflected back, but instead it passes from air into the glass. But when it passes from air to the glass, the ray of light, instead of going in a straight line, it bends. Okay, so that bending of the light when it passes from one transparent medium to another transparent medium is known as the refraction of light. So now coming to this refraction of light, the ray of light may pass from air to glass, or sometimes it may pass from glass to air. So the air is known as the rarer medium and the glass is known as the denser medium. Okay, so here I have considered the air and the glass, but generally we call it a rarer and a denser. The rarer is the one where the density is low, and the denser is the one in which the density is high. So let us consider few of the cases. The first case is when a ray of light passes from a rarer to denser. Okay, so I have one line that is known as a normal. A normal is a line that is perpendicular to the refracting surface. Refracting surface means the surface that separates the two medium. Okay, so whenever a ray of light is incident, in this case, whenever a ray of light passes from rarer to denser, instead of going in a straight line, it will bend towards the normal. Okay, so that is the first case. Whenever a ray of light passes from rarer to denser, it bends towards the normal. The second one is if the ray of light now is passing from denser to rarer medium. So this being the normal, this is the incident ray. Okay, so this is the incident ray, and this one is known as the refracted ray. And this is the angle of incident I, and this one is the angle of refraction R. So now whenever the ray of light passes from denser to rarer medium, instead of going in a straight line, it will bend away from the normal. Okay, so the first case, it bends towards the normal, and the second, it bends away from the normal. And we consider the third case, passing from a denser to rarer or rarer to denser, anyone. Okay, so this is normal. So if a ray of light is incident normally, so if the ray of light comes along the normal, that is at an angle of 0 degree. Okay, so the angle of incident there is 0 degree, or we can call with the plane, it is at 90 degree. Then the ray of light will pass from one medium to another, but it does not bend. So if you are asked when does the ray of light does not bend, so you may write the ray of light does not bend even when it passes from one medium to another, when the incident ray is normal to the refracting surface. So now coming to the law of refraction. So the first law is same as that of the law of reflection. It says that the incident, so the first one is the incident ray, the normal and the refracted ray all lies in the same plane. Okay, and the second law is quite different. So here what does it tell? We'll learn what is sine later on when you reach class 9. Okay, sine is known as a trigonometrical ratio. Okay, so the second law says that the sine of angle of incident I divided by sine of angle of refraction R is always constant. Okay, so you memorize this one for now. So the first is very simple, the incident ray, the normal and the refracted ray all lies in the same plane, and the second one is the sine of angle of incident bears a constant ratio to the sine of angle of refraction. So now coming to the refractive index, what is the refractive index now? So the second law itself is called the refractive index, like it is known as sine of I divided by sine of R is known as the refractive index of a medium. So the refractive index also is the reason or the cause why the ray of light bends. So we can say that higher is the refractive index, more the ray of light will bend. So for now, you just remember the refractive index is the ratio of sine of angle of incident to the sine of angle of refraction. So that is known as the refractive index. Now coming to the fourth topic, that is the real and the virtual image. So you have studied this in your class 6 also, the real and the virtual. So what is a real? Like you consider a projector, you must have seen a projector in your smart class. Okay, so when a ray of light comes, if you place a screen, okay, so what is this? This is a screen. So you can see the image on the screen. The image, if this is the case, if the image can be obtained on a screen, then it is known as a real image. But if the image cannot be obtained on a screen, then that is known as a virtual image. For example, when you stand in front of a mirror, where do you see yourself? You see yourself inside the mirror. But if you place a screen behind the mirror, will you be able to obtain your picture there? Obviously no, you won't be able to obtain the picture there. So such kind of images that cannot be obtained on a screen is known as a virtual image. So another, you will be asked to draw the ray diagram when the ray of light passes through the glass slab. So let us draw the ray diagram. So for that I draw a rectangular glass slab. Okay, so I write A, B, C and D. So I draw one normal here. So this is the incident ray. So now it is passing from air into the glass. So in the beginning we learned that whenever a ray of light passes from the rarer to denser, instead of going in a straight line, it will bend towards the normal, means it will bend this side. Now at the other phase, again I draw another normal. Okay, so now the ray of light is passing from denser to rarer. Now instead of going in a straight line, it will bend away from the normal like this. Okay, so if I write P, Q, R and S, PQ is known as the incident ray, QR is known as the refracted ray and RS is known as the emergent ray. Now if you see that the emergent ray and the incident ray produced forward, they are parallel to one another and separated by a certain distance. So this is known as a lateral displacement. Okay, so if asked what is lateral displacement, you may simply say the lateral displacement is the perpendicular distance between the emergent ray and the incident ray produced forward. Okay, so this is all you have to remember as a ray diagram when a ray of light passes through the glass slab. So now the next is when the ray of light passes through the prism. Okay, so now you draw an equilateral triangle, a prism. I draw a prism A, B and C. AC and AB is known as the refracting surface and CB is known as the base, and the angle CAB is known as the angle of the prism. So now I draw one incident ray like this. So I draw one normal here as well. So PQ is the incident ray. Now again here also the ray of light is passing from rarer to denser medium. So instead of going in a straight line, it will bend towards the normal. So again here I draw another normal. So now on the face AB, the ray of light is passing from denser to rarer medium. So the ray of light, instead of going in a straight line, it will bend away from the normal. Okay, so PQ, R and S. So here also PQ is the incident ray, QR is the refracted ray and RS is the emergent ray. What is the difference? Here the difference is the emergent ray and the incident ray was parallel to one another, but here they are not parallel. The incident ray is going that side and the emergent ray is going downward. Okay, so that means there is sudden bending of light, deviation. So the angle between the incident ray produced forward and the emergent ray produced backward is known as the angle of deviation given by del. So this is the angle of deviation. So what is the angle of deviation? The angle of deviation is the angle between the incident ray produced forward and the emergent ray produced backward. Now coming to the another topic, dispersion of light. So what is dispersion of light? Generally the light that we obtain from the sun or from the tube lights or from the CLF, that is known as a white light. But when this white light passed through the prism, okay, it is observed that this white light, it breaks into 7 color. Okay, so it breaks into 7 color. Like if you place a screen, you will see the 7 colors on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 color on the screen. So this breaking of white light into the 7 color is known as dispersion. And which are the color? It is remembered as Royze-Viv. R-O-Y-G-B-I-V. Okay, so V stands for violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So the splitting of white light into the 7 color is known as dispersion. And this colorful band obtained on the screen is known as a spectrum. Okay, is that clear? Dispersion means the breaking of the light into the 7 color, and that band of 7 color obtained on the screen is known as a spectrum. Now another is the bending of the stick. You must have noticed that whenever you go in a river or in a swimming pool, and if you look at your feet appear shorter. Or if you place a stick inside the water, the stick appears to bend, but whereas the stick is straight. So how does it bend is, so suppose this is the original stick, the straight stick. Okay, so this is the lower portion is the water and the upper is the air. So what happens? So somebody is viewing it from this point, from the other side. So the ray of light traveling from the tip of the stick. Okay, so what happens? I draw two rays. I draw two normal as well there. Okay, so now when the ray of light passes from denser to rarer, so instead of going in a straight line, what happens? Instead of going in a straight line, it will bend away from the normal like this. So the one who is viewing from here, he will appear as if the tip of the stick was at this depth. So connecting this one, so what happens? You see that the stick appears to bend in this direction. Okay, so that is how the stick appears to bend. So if you are asked what is the reason for the bending of the stick in a water, you may simply write it is due to the refraction of light from the denser to the rarer medium. So this is the bending of the light. So the last topic for today is the scattering of light. So though it is not in details in your book, you just remember that the scattering of light means when the light travels from the space to the earth, what happens? There are many dust particles suspended in the air. So this small dust particle, it has a capability to absorb and re-emit the light. So that is known as the scattering of light. So scattering of light means the absorption and the re-emission of light is known as the scattering of light. And you must have noticed that during the sunrise or the sunset, the sky appears reddish in color. It is because of the scattering of light. Because during the sunrise or the sunset, the sun is at the greatest distance. And also remember that the red light scatters the least. Okay, so that's why since rest of the light it gets scattered away in the space, so only the red light reaches our eye, and hence the sky appears reddish during sunset and the sunrise. So this is all for today's topic. You look into the video closely, and then if you have any problem you can ask me. So in the next class I will be teaching you about the spherical mirror. Thank you.